Hi, this is Dr. Rodger Murphree, thefibrodoctor.com, author of Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. Thank you for joining me for this fibromyalgia update. I hope to be able to share some information with you that you can use in your quest to feel good again. So one of the things that I often ask, as a lot of people, is what do you do? So for me, it's kind of a hard question to answer a lot of times because I have to share with them, number one, that I'm a chiropractor, board-certified chiropractor and board-certified nutritional specialist, but that I have a niche practice that I specialize in this thing called fibromyalgia. And then they ask me, well, what is fibromyalgia? And so I let them know it is a syndrome, which is a condition made up of a group of different symptoms that come together. And in the case of fibromyalgia, it's diffuse achy muscle pain, poor sleep, fatigue, can't have low moods, problems with mental clarity, restless leg syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, and other things that come together to make up this thing called fibromyalgia. And then I go on to tell him that with fibromyalgia patients, you imagine what it's like to have worked out in the yard for 3 days straight, the most physical labor you can imagine doing, hauling logs around, chopping down trees, cutting down brush, mowing the grass with a push mower. Imagine doing that over a 3-day period with no sleep. And that's what my patients with fibromyalgia feel like. They're exhausted. And so it's not the kind of achy pain that people have when they overdo a little bit of gardening, or maybe they overdo it in a game of playing tennis or racquetball, that kind of thing. This is the kind of pain that will put you in bed and keep you in bed, and the kind of fatigue that you feel like you got the flu from hell that never goes away. That's what fibromyalgia is. And then I go on to tell them that I actually have a practice that's 95% phone consults. And I do that because I use high doses, but the right doses of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids that allow me to fix the biochemistry where it's broken down. See, the high doses of vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, amino acids, these are the raw chemicals that make the neurotransmitters, the brain chemicals, the hormones like thyroid, cortisol, DHEA. That's where it comes from. It certainly doesn't come from a drug. But we should get these things in the foods that we eat on a daily basis, and then those foods that we eat turn into certain chemicals that our body needs to then operate on optimal levels. But unfortunately, we can get run down to where we cannot get enough of these nutrients in our diet, or like a lot of people, we have been less than stellar in our diet over the years, and it's caught up with us. But with those with fibromyalgia, what happens is their self-regulating mechanisms that allow them to be able to function on a daily basis. Those self-regulating mechanisms, known as the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenals, that regulate our body temperature, our blood flow, our sleep-wake cycle, our digestion, our brain chemistry, our perception of pain, that gets out of whack. It gets under too much stress, and then it can't regulate the body. And because of that, then you start having all these symptoms associated with fibromyalgia. And that's what makes fibromyalgia so complicated for doctors trying to treat it, and for, of course, those with, patients who try to overcome it. So it can be kind of complicated trying to share with others what it is you have. I understand that. So I encourage you to kind of use this explanation here. Is you have a syndrome, which is a group of symptoms and conditions that are made up of diffuse achy muscle pain, fatigue, low energy, problems with your digestive system, and use the analogy that's like having the flu every day. You wake up like you have the flu. And what brings this on is that the body literally has broken down over the years, and that self-regulating mechanisms can't function like they're supposed to. And that's really kind of how you explain it. So, you have patients or people that will tell you that you look great. How could you have all this wrong with you? And you could tell them, because on the inside is where I'm broken down, not on the outside. And you can let them know that This illness is recognized by the AMA, the ACR, American College of Rheumatology, the FDA. All these organizations recognize fibromyalgia as a legitimate illness. So it is certainly a real phenomenon. It's a real thing. So for me, though, it's interesting when I travel around and share what I do because, first of all, a lot of people still don't know what fibromyalgia is. And then second of all, they're really intrigued to hear that as a chiropractor, I work with patients by phone. How do you do that? So then I have to explain to them that I do it by using this thing called functional medicine, which is the high doses of vitamins and minerals, essential fatty acids and fatty acids. And what I do with my patients is I look for where they're broken down. My goal as a functional medicine doctor is to find out where they're broken down, to find and fix the causes of fibromyalgia, not merely treat the symptoms, which is conventional medicine. And by doing the right specialized testing, I can find out where my patients have trouble with their biochemistry, find out how well or how poorly their different systems are working. And once I know that, then it's a matter of using the protocols I've used for almost 20 years to fix those systems so that I can get the body's self-regulating stress coping systems to come back online and do what they're supposed to do. So I encourage you to learn more about fibromyalgia, to learn more about ways that you can take steps in your quest to feel good again by joining me each and every Tuesday night on my EndFibroNow.com teleconference. It's a free teleconference. I do it each and every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, and you can learn more at EndFibroNow.com.